Hello everyone. Welcome to Topic of the Day. This is our Sunday edition, and in this series we bring to you the species that have been in news lately. Let's begin our today's discussion with our first species, that is albino flap-shell turtles. The albino flap-shell turtle is a rare species that was recently sighted in Telangana. As you can see in the picture, the name albino comes from a disorder that is albinism. Now, albinism is a skin disorder due to which this turtle has a pale yellow color. If we talk about its scientific name, it is known as Lysimys punctata, and it is one of the most common soft-shell turtles found in India. The rare yellow color of this turtle may be due to the lack of pigment called tryosine that is generally present in high amounts in the reptiles. Now, the tryosine is an amino acid, and due to the deficiency of this tryosine, the production of melanin in the skin is affected. As we know, melanin is a pigment that gives color to the skin. Therefore, we find the color of albino flap-shell turtle as pale yellow. The possible cause of lack of tryosine can be a genetic mutation or some congenital disorder in this species. This turtle is commonly found in South Asian countries like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh and Myanmar. And it is omnivorous, that is, it feeds on vegetation as well as the aquatic wildlife. If we talk about its conservation status, it is listed under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. There are some 7 species of the sea turtle: the green sea turtle, hawksbill sea turtle, loggerhead, olive ridley, Kemp's ridley, leatherback sea turtle, and the flatback sea turtle. In Indian waters, we find 5 of these species, and those are leatherback, loggerhead, hawksbill, green, and the very famous olive ridley sea turtle. The hawksbill turtle is listed as critically endangered, and the green turtle is listed as endangered in the IUCN Red List. Now let us move on to our next species, and that is the Humboldt and emperor penguin. Recently, Mumbai's Bekula Zoo announced the addition of 2 new Humboldt penguin chicks. Its scientific name is Pheniscus humboldti, and it is from the genus Banded. It is native to the Pacific coast of Chile and Peru in South America, and it is named after the Humboldt Current. It has large bare skin patches around their eyes, and largest among all is the emperor penguin with a height of 4 feet. Its IUCN status is vulnerable. Now, if we talk about the emperor penguin, it is largest of all the penguin species, which is generally endemic to Antarctica region. Its IUCN status is near threatened. Penguins are a group of aquatic flightless birds, and every year 25th of April is observed as World Penguin Day. These penguins live primarily in the southern hemisphere, with only one species, that is the Galapagos penguin, found in the north of the equator. Now let's move on to our next species, and that is the Indian pangolin. Recently, this was in news as the Odisha government completed its first ever radio tagging of the Indian pangolin to standardize the rehabilitation protocol for animal in the state. It is scientifically called Manis crassicodata, and it is the largest among 8 pangolin species. The 8 species of pangolins are found on 2 continents, namely Asia and Africa, and they range from vulnerable to critically endangered. In India, generally 2 varieties are found, that is the Indian pangolin and the Chinese pangolin. As you can see in the picture, the pangolin has large overlapping scales on its body that acts as an armor. It can also curl itself into a ball as a self-defense mechanism. Also, it is a nocturnal animal that lives in burrows and feed on ants and termites. It is generally found in various types of tropical forests as well as open land, grasslands, and degraded habitats, including regions which are generally close to the villages. It is widely distributed in India, except in the arid regions, high Himalayas and the northeastern regions. It can be found at an elevation up to 2,500 meters, and this species also occurs in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal and Sri Lanka. Some of the major threats include poaching for its meat and scales, which are generally used and consumed by local people, and these are also traded internationally. If we talk about its protection status, it is listed in Schedule 1 under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Appendix 1 of the International Convention of Trade in Endangered Species, that is CITES. It is classified as endangered in the IUCN Red List, and the Chinese pangolin is listed as critically endangered. Now let us move on to the next species, and that is the clouded leopard. Recently, a team of researchers recorded photographic evidence of clouded leopards at an elevation of around 3,700 meters along the Indo-Myanmar border in the state of Nagaland. The clouded leopard is the state animal of Meghalaya, and it is scientifically known as Neophelis nebulosa. It is a medium-sized cat which is 60 to 110 centimeter long, and it weighs between 11 and 20 kgs. It is named after distinctive clouds on its coat. That means it talks about the black patches on its skin, as you can see in the picture. It has a stocky build, the longest canine teeth of any living feline. Feline generally refers to the cat family. It spends most of its time in the tropical evergreen rainforest, but can also be found in the dry tropical forest and the mangrove swamp regions. It has been found at relatively high altitudes in the Himalayas and across the Southeast Asia and the Himalayan region in the following countries: Southern China, Bhutan, Nepal, Northeast India, Burma, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia, Laos, and Bangladesh. It is believed to be extant in Taiwan. The major threats to this leopard includes habitat loss and poaching, and it is categorized as vulnerable in the IUCN status. Now let us move on to the last species of the day, and that is the Oriental darter. The Oriental darter was recently in news as the ringing of these darters have been taken up in the Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary, which is officially known as Keoladev National Park. It is an effort to monitor the seasonal fluctuation in the bird's movement. This bird is scientifically known as Anhinga melanogaster. It has a long and slender neck that looks like a snake when it swims and dives into water to catch a fish. Its sharp and long beak is helpful in puncturing the fish. The darter hunts for fish while its body is submerged in the water. It is listed as near threatened in the IUCN Red List, and it is distributed across Indian subcontinent, Myanmar, Thailand, and Indonesia. So that is a wrap of this edition of Species in News. You can leave your thoughts in the comment section below. For regular updates, you can follow us on our social media handles. You can also read these topics in depth in the daily current affairs section on our website. And for more such videos, do stay tuned to the next IAS YouTube channel.